good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. I'm Fornia from LePage Infinity, local realtor, represent the local community. Today, we have part 2, interview our lawyer, Mr. Stephen Tress, criminal and immigrant lawyer from Toronto. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, good afternoon. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. And I would like to know, many people that after they will the part 1, they like to know more about your services. Now, from question 1, many people want to ask, like, why would I need a lawyer when I come
Okay.
to
All right, sure. Well, there are a lot of different ways to answer this question, and I get this. I get this a lot. But usually, when people are applying for permanent residence in Canada, for example, they're applying to change their life. I mean, you know, apart from the marriage contract, if they happen to be married, and this is the biggest transaction, not financially, or it could be financially, this is the biggest transaction in their life. The second biggest transaction would be, for example, buying a house, right? But if you buy a house and the offer doesn't go through, you don't lose much because you could just buy the next house. But with permanent residence, if you get refused, then that's usually, that's the end of the story. Maybe apply for a different country. So because another situation where this comes up is like when one spouse in Canada, a Canadian citizen spouse, applies to sponsor their foreign national. You know, if they're unsuccessful at the sponsorship application, then the two spouses will be forever separated by an ocean. You know,
Yeah.
So it's really an important transaction. And sadly, a lot of people go on the website and say, oh, just a few forms, I can fill this out. You know, if I make a mistake, no big deal, or they try not, obviously they try not to make a mistake. And then a lot of times I get an email. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I got this letter from immigration threatening to bar me for 5 years because I made a mistake on the forms.
I heard a lot of that.
Can you help me? Yeah. So, I mean, you make one tiny little mistake, and sometimes there are 11, 12, 13 different forms with a lot of legal information that has legal significance that they try to fill out themselves. And like I said, one little mistake, and they not only get their application refused, but they have a 5-year bar from reapplying again. And so the consequences are serious. I mean, you wouldn't buy a house without hiring a real estate lawyer, right? You wouldn't do all the paperwork yourself, because if you make a mistake, you lose your house. Well, similarly, if it were me, if I were, say, applying for US immigration, you know, even though I'm an experienced Canadian immigration lawyer, I'm not an American immigration lawyer, and I would hire an American immigration lawyer, take care of it for me. You know what the requirements are. You know how to fill out the paperwork that I don't have experience in. And so even a Canadian lawyer would hire a foreign lawyer to do a foreign application, even though, you know, we might think, oh, I'm smart enough to figure it out. No, I'm not smart enough to figure it out. I have training in one area. If something is outside my area of expertise, even if it's for myself personally, I would always hire a lawyer if the stakes were high enough. So,
thank you so much.
You know, you get a speeding ticket, you know, that you do have a right to have a lawyer if you want to fight the speeding ticket in court, but the stakes are not high enough. You're not going to pay, you know, however much money for legal fees just to save a $30 or $40 speeding ticket or parking ticket, right? But to a lot of people, permanent residence is an important goal for them. So most people, they would say, you know, I need a professional because if I screw this up, it will alter my life. And yeah, so
the delay is long, so it's not worth it to take a risk on that. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, you know, it costs more for a lawyer to try to clean up the mess that someone has created, rather than hire a lawyer from the beginning and just get everything right done the first time. It also saves time, because let's say, for example, a client does it on their own, and they forgot or omitted some documents that we usually include, it doesn't jeopardize the ultimate outcome of their processing, but immigration will request the information, and every time they request the information, they give you 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and they don't touch the file for that period of time, even if you send it earlier. So by your doing it yourself, you're also possibly doubling the processing time, because you're not submitting a complete application from the beginning, because of course, unless you have experience doing that, you don't know what to.
Because I see so many of these cases, that's why I would insist to interview you, as experienced as you have in so many cases happening before. So I think this piece of information is very, very useful. Now, my second question for you, Stephen. So what is included in your service?
Well, it depends on what stage the client retains me. So, for example, let's say a client hasn't submitted an application yet. They're not even sure if they would qualify. They would reach out to me, and then we would do an assessment. We would have a consultation and see. Would say, what's the eligibility criteria? Do you meet that eligibility criteria? And how much would I charge? I quote a legal fee for the service, and the service that I offer is basically handling the application from beginning to end.
Great, sounds great.
It's a complete package. I take control of the file as the authorized representative. I act as liaison personally to represent the client with immigration authorities.
Very nice. Thank you.
So I offer a complete package if they contact me early on enough.
And how to contact you? By email is the best.
Email is the best way to start off with. We can certainly set up a Zoom meeting,
yes.
But email is the fastest, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and everyone is relying on
like we never met, but we just go by email and everything's done. And I got a lot of advice from you for my clients. And yeah, you always feedback on time, punctual. I really appreciate your time, and you're valuable to us. Thank you so much, Stephen, and we are happy to have you again. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
So everyone, goodbye. Have a nice day. And if you'd like to have an interview with me to let people know more about your business, feel free to contact me, Fornia, at LePage.ca. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.